right. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Very excited about tonight's guest. It is Wednesday, October 6th, 2021. And right around the corner is the third annual Leading Ladies of Logistix conference here in the Atlanta area. So we have the privilege of having all of the ladies join us this evening just to talk about it a little bit more in advance, raise a little awareness. So I'm very, very excited to have these individuals join us. I have pinged these individuals who are very, very busy women. So I'm just so excited to actually have them on stage. And we do have our very first one. Hey, Sam, how you doing today?
Hey, how are you?
Oh, I'm feeling blessed, ma'am. Thank you so much for joining, and thank you for asking that. We also have Vanessa. Vanessa, how are you? If you can hear me right now.
I just needed to unmute myself. I am great. How are you? Glad to be here.
Oh, thank you, ma'am. Thank you. I'm feeling excellent. Excited about tonight's discussion. Very, very happy to be able to let the folks know what you guys have going on next month, and get that interest out there, get that awareness out there. So it looks like we have the whole bunch. We have the whole gang in town. So look, you guys have been here with me for every Wednesday of 2021. So you know what this is. Every single Wednesday on the Transportation and Logistics Clubhouse, we bring movers and shakers in this industry to discuss not only freight and transportation and logistics, but just, how to get better as a whole. Tonight, we have some very special guests. I'm going to give them an opportunity to introduce themselves. But before I do that, I just have to really pay homage because I say this stuff all the time, like when I'm talking to people, but back when the Transportation Logistics Clubhouse was first getting started, it was literally just my wife and I. I was on here by myself, and my only person that was listening to me was my wife. But then we got a little traction, Tristen joined. Tristen, you just out of nowhere just joined the room. And the fact that you were able to provide such valuable insight in this industry, I really want to say that was the precursor to this clubhouse being able to become what it is today. So I just wanted to say that because I mean it wholeheartedly. But without further ado, we have all of the members of the Leading Ladies of Logistix. Let me go ahead and pass out those moderator badges. And as I'm doing that, if you ladies wanted to go ahead and introduce yourselves individually, that'd be awesome. I am going to let you know that following your introduction, I'm going to throw it to whomever to, talk about the leading ladies as a whole as well. So, Sam, did you join first? Would you like to go ahead and introduce yourself first?
Sure. Lucky me. So my name is Samantha. So I'm known as Logistics Chick on Instagram. I'm a fleet owner, freight broker, IT specialist, real estate investor. I do a little bit of everything, but I tell everybody my passion, honestly, is trucking. I've been in trucking for 11 years now. It's just me and my husband who runs the whole trucking. I tell everybody I run my whole back office wholeheartedly. I don't outsource anything. He actually drives as well, and we specialize in refrigerated freight. So I tell people year round, I go where the money is. You eat ice cream in December, you're going to eat ice cream in July, right? And back in 2018, and what my story always is, when I first got into the transportation industry, there wasn't a platform like, Instagram, Clubhouse. So when I say like I'm truly self-taught and, with Google, I mean, that's all I had. I didn't really have like a mentor. I didn't really have anybody to kind of, just talk to. So the first person that I really met in the industry was, Miss Tristen. And honestly, when I was just like, wow, it's somebody else that's just out there that's like dominating, the industry. She's a woman, and we just connected. And then through her, I met Vanessa, and then Tawana. I met Tawana, I think, in 2019. So here we are, the Leading Ladies of Logistix. And thank you again for this opportunity to be in Clubhouse. We're super excited about the conference. But that's me in a nutshell.
Oh, thank you so much. I cannot wait to ask you more questions about the, your experience as a carrier. So thank you very much for sharing that. So then We also had Miss Vanessa join. Vanessa, can you please introduce yourself?
Hi, so I am Vanessa Gant, known in Instagram land as I'm the Money Architect. I'm your favorite transportation and logistics accountant. I come by way of being in corporate for like 16 years on the accounting side of the transportation and logistics industry. All those years ago, I started with someone who just got into the industry, and I was able to become like that magic bullet for my clients, because not only do I have the education experience on the accounting side, I actually have the hands-on industry knowledge of being able to build terminals, $1 million terminals up and down the East Coast, from learning everything from the dispatch to the back office of the safety, to my favorite position as a CFO. So I'm your favorite logistics and accounting, your favorite trucking and logistics accountant in the short version.
Oh, I hear you now. She said, my favorite position is a CFO. Now that's awesome. I appreciate that, man. Y'all better shoot for the stars. Y'all hear these women out here dominating, and it just lets you know where exactly you can be as well. So, thank you, Miss Gant. Thank you for introducing yourself. All right. So now we got Lady Logistics. Hey, Tristen, how you doing?
Hey, Jory. I'm great. How are you?
Oh, I'm feeling well. Can you please let the folks know, the folks who don't know you already, let them know a little bit about you.
Okay. Well, first of all, thank you for having us. It was definitely great to actually meet you in person at the She Trucking Expo. My name is Tristen Simmons. I'm known in the industry as Lady Logistics. January will be 13 years that I've been in the transportation industry, and I've done different things. I'm a broker, a fleet owner. My favorite position is being the owner of a towing company. A lot of people probably think I love brokering more than that, but I actually love running a towing company. We recently kind of did a relaunch. So I broker as well, along with Samantha. We've now trained almost 2,000 students in how to become a freight broker. So that's also one of the things that I enjoy, is helping other people by providing training and coaching to people to get into this space, especially women. I'm one of the founders of the Leading Ladies. The first person that I met was Samantha. Like she said, we did a course, and Tawana came to one of our classes, and we've been attached ever since. And Vanessa and I are actually in the same location. We live maybe about 10 minutes away from each other. So that's how we are all connected. I'm very excited about the 3rd annual Leading Ladies of Logistics conference, and we hope to see you all there.
Oh, no doubt. And it was a pleasure being able to meet you. I don't know if you could tell, but I was a little starstruck. And it's funny, we're leading to Tawana right now, but I couldn't let that opportunity pass, Tawana. You were walking by, I threw up the deuces. I was like, and you just kept walking. I was like, man, she don't know who I am. I got to say, Tawana, it's me, Jory. But once I did, it was all love.
Don't do that.
Right. I'm just saying, this is Clubhouse. This is all audio. We don't really know how people look in real life. So I just couldn't miss up that opportunity to say, what's up? So now that we have you here, Tawana, can you please introduce yourself?
Yes, I am Tawana, the owner of Goldstar Logistics Group, and as well as GLS Dispatch, and one of the members of the Leading Ladies of Logistics. And I'm excited to be here, and I'm so sorry I didn't recognize you, but we just know people as Instagram faces.
No doubt. It's all good. It's all good. I'm not surprised. You know what I mean? Like I said, I come from this Clubhouse world, which is all audio. Most of the time people don't recognize who anyone is just by the face. And it's like, your head's turned and you hear the voice and you're like, I know that voice. And that's when, it kind of, you kind of like come together and be like, oh, you're such and such. But
right.
Yeah,
I will tell you, that was one of the most exciting parts about the event last year, meeting people and they're like, oh, I'm such and such on IG. So it's like we got to put the name to the face, actually seeing people that we talk to all the time on IG. So that was definitely one of my dopest moments from last year.
Oh, that's awesome. And, to be honest, that kind of is a perfect segue into one of my conversations, or at least one of my questions is, besides the information that you get at these conferences, what else do you feel like, are some takeaways or some advantages of going to the conference? Anybody can answer that question, really.
For me, it's definitely the networking. Whether you're in the industry or whether you're trying to get into the industry, there's definitely going to be a piece of at the conference for you. There's so many different aspects of, conferences and expos that you don't get on social media, or that you don't get, in your own network or within your own company, especially if you're running your company by yourself. So you have to get out there and network. You have to get out there and meet new people. There's so much business outside of social media. So we have to get outside of social media and meet people. And we're definitely making it safe for people to do that with COVID testing, waivers, temperature checks and everything. So we're definitely making it safe, and we just, we hope everyone comes out. But, that's my take on, the benefits of these type of conferences.
Oh, no doubt. Yeah, appreciate that. Vanessa, were you about to say something?
Yeah, it was. And it's basically, kind of what Tawana said. It's the network, and it's the value of being able to get into the room, especially if you're like new to the industry and you're trying to figure out what lane you want to go in. You're going to, before investing into, your particular business, there's going to be a wealth of knowledge there from different lanes of transportation to help you, solidify like what you want to do. And even if you wanted to diversify your business, you're going to get a lot of information there that could help you and support. And the biggest thing is like, there are so many people that left the conference last year who now had accountability partners, who now had someone they could talk to. Now they have someone who's walking through the same things that they are. So it's a network and the relationships and the value of the information there.
Oh, 100%. I agree, especially with that whole, building your tribe. That's exactly why I was inspired to create this transportation and logistics clubhouse. I had hella questions and nobody to ask them to. And my wife would tell you, I like to ask a lot of questions. So this thing right here was so that I could meet those like-minded individuals. And now that, we're kind of through COVID, or, as far as we are, I feel good about getting back there in person and talk to people because, it's a different level of connection, from Clubhouse and from Instagram. You could talk to people, but, it's something different to be able to like, kiki about something and like bump elbows. You know what I mean? It's just a different type of bond that you can form in those environments. So I agree 100%. And I know we kind of talked about this a little bit, but Tristen, would you be able to talk about how exactly you guys went about creating the Leading Ladies of Logistix? Like what was that process like, and what was that mindset like, if you can recall?
So it's gonna, piggyback off of exactly what Vanessa and Tawana just said. It's not a secret at all that when I first got started in the industry, after about 2.5 years, we were shutting down. I didn't know any other women. And so I did feel that if I knew other women, I would have someone to call. When you're running these trucking companies, a lot of times, like Tawana said, you're working by yourself. So really having an accountability partner or someone that also has the same type of business, you have someone to call. So when I was failing on the trucking side, I decided to get into the brokerage side. And at that point, I started thinking of identifying myself as a woman in the industry to attract other women. So Lady Logistix was created first. And then I said, well, how am I going to get other women to connect with me? And so I thought of the idea of Leading Ladies of Logistix. And I kind of just put it out on Instagram, and I met Samantha at a brunch and I talked to her about the idea and she was all for it. So that's how we originally got started. And when I shared the idea with Tawana and Vanessa, we all had the same story. We all had failed in the beginning of our career in transportation, and they knew what the mission and the vision was, and they all bought into it. So I asked them to be founders, and they helped me get it started.
Oh, I love that. I love that so much. And especially about the part of, having to persevere, learning through failure. I just want to ask, like, from Sam or Tristen, like, what was that like that patience? How did patience play a part in, not necessarily doing what you wanted to do the first go around in transportation, but, coming back and taking more swings and it being more successful? How did patience play a part?
Well, I'll start off by saying I have a mask on because I'm in the store. I have 5 children.
Woo.
So patience is already my thing. But that's a great question, because I think what we've all learned with trucking, everything is out of our control. And I think we just kind of learn to adapt. What systems do you have in place if something goes wrong, right? Like, what tools are you using? Like right now, my husband's on the road and he just blew a tire. But guess what? We had it all figured out. He knows what to do. He knows how to handle it. So I think it's just more of kind of like you live and you learn, right? Like you experience different things. You kind of know how you approach it. You learn how to approach it, and you kind of know, what to do moving forward. But I just think with the trucking industry, which is so much out of your control, I think you just kind of like learn. I feel bad saying it's kind of like learning how to deal with it, but at the same time, having those tools and systems in place to deal with it effectively.
Oh, I hear you. Working in corporate America in this industry, they always said that if it can't happen, it will happen in trucking. They teach you not to get too bogged down because things happen. It just happened. It's Murphy's Law in an industry. It's all here, so you can't get too mad about it because stuff happens. So no, I agree with you. You just got to keep on rolling with those punches. And I just love the fact that you guys have been able to not only persevere, but come through like champs. Like y'all are on top, and it's to the point where if I'm really thinking about it, there's not too many folks who's affecting our culture on the same level that you guys are. Like, there's not too many people touching it and influencing it like you guys are. You just said that between Lady Logistics and Logistics Chick, that y'all have already trained over 2,000 folks when it comes to being a broker. Like, the only person I can really think of that's also touching folks like that is maybe brother Ramel Watley of Truck and Hustle, who's also going to be one of the hosts, I believe, at the conference. So I don't know. How do y'all feel about that? Tawana, how do you feel about having such a positive impact on folks who look like us?
Oh, you just made it seem like we got this big responsibility.
Hey.
I mean, I like it. I like what comes with it. Is a big responsibility comes with that. But it's not all about us. It's about the people that we're mentoring as well. People have to be coachable. People have to understand the industry. You have to understand what it is that you're actually getting yourself into. So we can do our parts in mentoring and giving the information out and putting on the conferences and we drop free game all the time. Like those who are in our group, unfortunately, sorry, men, the women that are in our group, they know we don't mind sharing. We'll drop the information in there, but it's all about that person and that company being coachable and understanding that at the end of the day, you're dealing with people who don't want you to make for me, $75,000 mistake that we made the first time around. So, get the education and do it the right way. The shortcuts are cool, but then you pay for them so much in the long run in this industry. So it's just about being coachable. I mean, I'm excited we're in the position. But, like I said, it's definitely a team thing. We can do what we can do, and then everyone else has to do their part as well.
Oh, no doubt about it. I mean, if anybody else wanted to handle that question, just let me know.
Yeah, I'll jump in on that. So I come from a different side of the table from them. So I come from right now I call myself, I introduce myself to the civilian side of trucking, because I've seen so many people, that look like us from the owner operator side that, are leased on to the 3PLs and the 4PLs, and they don't really understand the gist of what it means to operate under their own authority and run their own business. It's a complete mind shift, a complete difference of how you handle your business. So I come in from the standpoint to help them prevent, some of the financial mistakes and the troubles that the other ladies saw when they actually started their businesses.
Oh, I got you. And Vanessa, how important would you say it is to invest in those type of, getting that type of training and those tools and getting those systems in place, as early as possible, into your business as possible. How would you tell me about that?
Setting up your accounting system and having your bookkeeper or accountant on staff is just as important as you getting your MC. It is just as important because like you're starting your business and let's face it, the startup cost in trucking is not low. But if you're not tracking your expenses, you can be $100,000 in and not even know because you're just going and going and going and going, trying to get everything started.
Oh, I agree.
So it's just as important. And if you're not tracking all of these things that you're paying, you're going to lose out when it's like tax time. You're not going to get all the credits and deductions that you are due because you're not tracking your expenses. You're commingling your funds. You're using all these different accounts, not having an accounting system. Not knowing your numbers will be the detriment of your business. And even trying to scale your business without knowing your numbers. Like we got to stop confusing, revenue with profit. It's a big difference.
Oh, I agree. That speaks exactly to what Brother Adam Wingfield, what he said while he was up here, as to, why he had to change his model of, he realized that he was scaling, but it wasn't the correct type of scaling. So no, I agree. It's definitely a numbers thing. So you're very important. I need to talk to you because this is my first year operating Atlanta Dispatch, and I need to make sure I'm doing things right. So look, y'all better book her if y'all haven't already. So, but look, let me ask this, Tristen. Did you have like any tips all right, well, let me lead into this question like this. As a dispatcher myself, I'm on load boards. I'm talking to all these brokerages every single day. Some of the big players, some of them are brand new operations. And, luckily for us, we have DAT and these other load boards that kind of vet them a little bit. They tell you what their credit score is, their days to pay, and all that kind of good stuff. But even if that's looking nice on DAT, a lot of the factoring companies out here are still not rocking with them. Tristen, my question for you is, do you have like any tips or anything that these brand new freight brokerages can do to kind of get on the good side of these factoring companies so that they would factor their loads?
I'm so glad you asked me that question. So one thing that new brokers should do is not rush to become a broker. I see that people will go online, Google, YouTube, and find out how to become a broker. And they hear the fact that you can become a broker in under 30 days and they get an authority, but they don't even have their business entity set up properly. They don't even have business credit. They haven't even built personal credit. That's one of the biggest issues is the credit. If they would take the time and make sure they have good personal credit, first of all, because that's what is used to give you a quote for a surety bond. Then once the business entity is set up, focus on building the business credit for a few months. Once you have done that, you can actually call factoring companies, have a conversation with them, let them know, you're in business, you're a broker, you have a credit history, and ask them, can you get set up? I have personally done it myself. All factoring companies will not work with brand new brokers, but there's some out there that will work with brand new brokers from the minute that authority is active. Some of them you have to be in business for a year. And I totally understand why, because brokers go out of business very, very quickly. And one of those reasons is because they don't have working capital and they won't, some factoring companies won't work with them. So I would say to any new broker, if you're getting ready to start a brokerage, do not be in such a hurry to go out there and get a shipper. Focus on having the foundation of the business set up properly. Focus on the business credit and then get into the operations. So that's just my advice.
Oh, that's great advice. Thank you so much. Because I see it all the time. I talk to these folks and I'm like, I wish I could, but what's your quick pay situation? What are those options looking like? And sometimes my carrier will be okay, with taking that chance, but it's also their livelihood. So they're like, nah, put me on one of those big players. And I'm like, all right, I got you. So thank you so much for sharing that. And, guys and gals, I would just say take heed to it. Don't be in a rush because sometimes you got to get that past performance in your credit first. So thank you for sharing that.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Look, Tawana, I know you have a dispatch company, and as a dispatcher, I know that as I'm trying to build my systems, it's a little, it's a lot of work, so I'm just going to ask you, what systems have you put in place that make it a little bit easier for, your carrier information to be accessible by all the dispatchers that you got working for your company?
Well, for us, I learned, I guess earlier this year that things had to be automated for me in order for it to be like kind of streamlined. So I had to put things in place like 17 hats. I'm sorry, my dog think he a guard dog. I had to put things in place like 17 hats so that when new carrier package come through, it goes straight to the next dispatcher. So stuff didn't have to come through me and then go through someone else, and then they had to wait for me and different things like that. So when we started streamlining things and making things a little bit more easier, it definitely took a weight off of me. So 17 hats is the bomb. QuickBooks is the bomb for me. Anything that doesn't have to go through me makes my life and my dispatches easier, because I'm busy doing something. So if they're waiting, hey, my carrier said they sent their W-9 and COI. No problem. It's already in the system. You already have it. So once the carrier submits it, it automatically goes to the next dispatcher in line.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, because that's exactly where I'm trying to be. Streamlined, not having to worry about nothing. That, there aren't any bottlenecks with me. Like stuff coming to me so much that if I don't put my eyes or hands on it, that, the work doesn't get done. So I appreciate that. 17 hats. I'm definitely going to Google that bad boy. Just today, I had to add something. I got a new laptop, y'all, and I had to make my PC similar to what I had my Mac at. And one of the brand new extensions, add-ons that I put on Google Chrome that has been a game changer is this thing called Magical. It's basically a text expander. So all of those shortcuts that I had on my Mac that wasn't naturally happening when I was in Google Chrome, I didn't understand why, but now I got that answer, and it's awesome. Emails, I don't have to type out this whole thing, especially, filling out so many different carrier packets, going on all these different, RMIS situations. It's just easy to have those text expand opportunities. So yeah, that's something that I just downloaded and put on my Google Chrome. I'm still looking for something good to go on my actual PC computer, because apparently that's not just something that's naturally built in. So, but yeah, appreciate that answer. 17 hats. I'm going there. Yeah, Samantha. Let me ask this: as a carrier, you're an asset-based carrier, and we're in what they say is the golden age of trucking, which means these rates out of control. Carriers are expecting to get, over $3 a mile most times. And that's not what it was when I first got here. When I first became a dispatcher in 2018, folks was looking for $2 a mile. So, with that being the current lay of the land, are you, and, with your company, are you looking for those spot rates, or are you comfortable with, getting a decent dedicated contract rate where that your returns are built in and you don't have to think about it too much?
So just to clarify, I'm not an asset base. I actually have a freight brokerage authority, and then I have the motor carrier. I do that so I can basically double dip.
Okay.
So what I've learned about asset base, and don't get me wrong, I know people that does it. I just know that when it starts to get tricky, like with your insurance, and then if you do want to work with like a dedicated shipper, they want you to have like mini trucks. I'm not at mini trucks yet, right? We kept it small. I told you, just a husband and wife team. So what I do as a freight broker, usually I'm able to give my loads to my trucking company. And I can do that because I have two separate authorities, right? And, I'm taking my freight brokerage, getting the rate from the shipper, and then I'm giving it to the carrier for a certain price. So we actually have our trucks split. So I do have dedicated shippers that we work with year round, and it's on an egg farm. Honestly, those rates are absolutely fantastic, but we will look at the spot market rate. And of course, we always negotiate higher. I know what my cost per mile is. So of course, I'm always asking over, but I do have my trucks split. I would never want to I wouldn't want to tie up all my trucks with contracted freight because I do know, rates change, based on season, weather, all of that good stuff. So it's like the good thing about the egg farm, it's been so consistent. I'm like, I'm happy that I went with that choice. We tried contracted freight when we first started, and it was like a complete disaster because, we're looking at the spot market and say it was like $2.50, and our contract was paying us like 180, like 183 a mile. And I remember when we were like asking him to negotiate, he's like, no, that's my contractor rate. And we're just like, oh, wow, like we really are stuck with this, but we could be getting more based on, the load board. I tell people the carriers, we're the ones who drive the rates. So then I felt bad because as a carrier, I'm kind of bringing the rate down, right? Because I'm taking a lower rate, like, because I have to, because I'm in this contract versus, going off the spot market. So I think it really just depends on how that contractor rate, is it beneficial? Like I said, for us, it would be beneficial whether the spot market goes up or down. I'm very happy with it. But at the same time, like I said, I didn't want to put all my trucks on there just in case, right?
I definitely feel that. I understand exactly where you're coming from. You just got to, you want to have that flexibility. No, I completely understand. And let me know where the egg farm at, because I just got a reefer box truck here out of Atlanta, and I would love to be, getting those decent rates that you're speaking of. So
I got you. Yep.
Yeah, put your boy on. But look,
and I always tell people too, like, I'm a carrier first, even though I'm a freight broker. I actually got into the freight brokerage, and it's actually a story. So my husband's grandpa used to drive. And he went to one of these shippers and picked it up. But sometimes he takes like his, his grandfather with him, like on the road. Here, come here. And, she just threw up. I'm sorry, my dog. Here, grab her. So anyhow, when he walked in, he was like, it's like, you're Smitty's grandson. And my husband was like, yeah. So he's like, I'm going to show you something. He's like, but you can't say nothing. He shows my husband the piece of paper of what the broker was getting paid. And I was like, when I found out the amount, I was like, we're in the wrong industry. But what had made us more upset was the rate that we were getting wasn't a fair rate. And that's what even made me want to become a broker, because I wanted to be that fair broker, because I know what the expenses are for a carrier, right? Like I understood, the time away from home. I understood the breakdowns, and I tell people our oil changes and tire blowouts isn't the same as a normal car. So, and then that's when I even got into the industry of really teaching people the right way, because I wanted to teach them from the carrier aspect. But like I always tell people, I'm a carrier first. And like I said, I just want other brokers to understand that us carriers, our expenses is totally different than what theirs are monthly, and for dispatchers, right? Like, I mean, our expenses are ridiculous. So that was just a story I wanted to share.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. And I agree with you in the sense of, a salesman or a saleswoman makes way more sales if they understand what the buyer is going through, their perspective. Mm-hmm. And you got to have that in your pitch, in your delivery, in your rates. And if you don't, it's just saying that you're out of touch with what your customer is really experiencing. So, and I think that's awesome. And the fact that you and Tristen have been able to, give that type of game and exposure to 2,000 folks, that's awesome. So, I commend y'all. Keep on keeping on. And I ain't gonna lie to you. I talked to a lot of people who are interested in being whether they want to be a dispatcher or a freight broker. I kind of say that it's the opposite side of the same coin. They kind of just, the dispatcher is on the behalf of the carrier, the broker is on behalf of the shipper, manufacturer, person. And, at the end of the day, I don't really tell too many people who to go get training from, but, I do see that there are a lot of good results that are coming from you guys training courses, and, just the people who are moving and shaking after they take your course. So if there's anything that y'all wanted to say right now about any of those courses, feel free. This is definitely a time to do that. Did y'all want to say anything?
Well, I'll say they don't have to take our course, but they need to take somebody's course. Education is first if you want to be in this industry and you want to survive. I think the four of us have already shared that we had failures in the beginning, and then we started getting educated and connecting ourselves with other people that were winning. So it's just important to be educated. A lot of people ask if they should start out as a dispatcher first, and for a lot of people, I do think that they should, so that they can understand the industry. Some people are really, really good at sales and they can kind of skip over it. But I think it's a good idea to get dispatch training, broker training, and even trucking training if you want to be a really good broker. So we do have a really good course. We've had a lot of success stories. We have hundreds of reviews that we have not even posted yet. We have a lot of people that have started their brokerage or became a freight agent. So we took our time and put together our course. And, so we do think it's one of the top courses out there, but there's others. So we don't tell people what to choose. Just pick a course that fits best for you, fits your budget, and start learning.
Oh, yeah, I love that. I couldn't have said that better myself. There are a lot of courses out there, but, do your research and whatever works best for your situation. But speaking of your mentees and the folks that have actually gone through to complete your course and, are now in this industry, do y'all have any star students, any folks that y'all just extremely proud of?
I definitely do. I actually hired a few of mine. They actually work with me right now. So some that me and Samantha have trained. I have one she's built a multi-million-dollar book of business. She's really killing it. Her name is Monique. I hired one named Jackie. So we actually have students that we have hired. We're not hiring at the time, but we do hire our students when we are open to bringing on more people.
Okay. Yeah, I love that too. Yeah, that's probably the best time, the best folks to hire is the ones that have the information. They've gone through your course. They know what they're talking about because you told them.
Exactly. And then we have one also. Her name is Latasha. She's actually one of the mentors. So she took our training. She was a former nurse and she started her trucking company. Then she came to us for broker training. She has a brokerage up and running and she's doing very well. So, again, we continue to partner with these people that we've trained. She's now one of the mentors. I think we have about 20, but she's one of the mentors for our Leading Ladies of Logistics organization. So we definitely have a lot of success stories and we're going to be sharing a lot more of those.
Okay, perfect. I hope to hear more about those at the conference that's happening next month. What are those dates? Is November 4th through 6th?
Yes, and I think Tawana is the perfect person to tell you all about it.
All right. So look, Tawana, since you are in the hot seat right now, let's talk about the third annual the third annual Leading Ladies of Logistics, Transportation, and Networking Conference. How excited about this bad boy are you?
We're truly excited about it. It's the third annual one. It's definitely bigger than last year, which means it's more work than last year. But we're super excited. We're about at that end. We probably have about, I think, 42 tickets left. So I'm super excited that people are taking. There's been a lot of conferences this year, so we were kind of scared for a minute. Because like I said, it's been a lot of conferences this year. A lot of things came to Atlanta and close by Atlanta. But we're super excited about the product that we're putting out. And the amazing, when I say 30 different speakers for the weekend, speakers that if you take their consultations or their courses, you're looking at least $1,000 for their course. So to have them all in the same room for not even half of that is going to be amazing. So I'm super excited about it. I think we all came together and put together an amazing event. And I just can't wait to meet all my new Instagram friends and Clubhouse, my new Clubhouse friends.
Right. So look, how do people go about purchasing a ticket?
Tickets that are left over can be purchased at Leading Ladies of Logistix with an X.com. You can purchase tickets for the whole event, which is an all access pass, or you can purchase a ticket for the particular day that you actually are interested in, or the day that you actually, are able to go. So if you can't come to the whole thing, I get it, but pick a day and come join us.
Oh, okay. Look, I'm on the site right now. Go ahead and tell me what that discount code is. No, I'm just joking. I'm just joking.
No, maybe we'll see.
But look, I know one of the most amazing parts of conferences that I've learned this year, because y'all, it had been a while since I've gone to a conference. But then, like you said, we did have several things right here in this Atlanta area. But I love talking to the vendors. I love seeing what they are, what these folks are doing in their businesses and, what they're selling at those events. What type of vendors do you guys have? How many are already signed up?
We got 20 signed up, and we have, let's see, I'm literally pulling it up as we talk because I can't remember them all.
Right.
While she's pulling it up, can I ask a quick question, Jory?
Oh, definitely. Go ahead.
How much longer do we have on this clubhouse?
Well, it's basically catered to you all schedule. What you want? You want long, or you want to wrap soon?
So I'm asking because, it's just not about us. A lot of people came to our conference last year and they heard from us as well as a few other people. But we have some really dope speakers, and some of them are actually on Clubhouse tonight. So I was just hoping that maybe we could invite a few of them up to tell the audience what they're speaking on at the conference.
Oh, look, I would love that. That's perfect. That's right up what I'm trying to do. Look, let me go ahead. Look. Before I open hand raising, if you're not a speaker for the conference, please don't raise your hand, okay? But yeah, thank you. That's a great idea. But Tawana, if you have those folks up, please go ahead and mention it.
Yeah, so as far as the vendors, we have K Neal Truck and Bus Center, who I know you met in She Trucking event. Super dope guy. He owns the only African American truck dealership in the world, the country. He's going to be there. We got, of course, DOT testing specialists, page testing. We got credit, business credit experts. We got Right Way to Go Logistics. Yellow Brick Academy is going to be there. Of course, Innovative Logistics and Interportal is going to be there. The amazing Shack, who just showed up, is not only a speaker, but she does have a booth at the event as well. We have insurance. We got lashes. I don't know how that snuck in there. It's all good. Like I said, you name it, we got it. We want this event to be a one-stop shop.
Oh, I feel it.
We went after the dopest people with the dopest products and dopest services to get in front of you guys.
Well, look, I'm already feeling the love. I'm already feeling all of the effort and energy and work that you ladies have put into making sure that this is a grand experience. So I'm there. Look, y'all, they said it's about 40 tickets left, and I know it's about 80 folks in here. So if you ain't got your ticket,
it's 41.
Yeah. That means half of y'all, even if you wanted to go, couldn't. So, act fast. But now that we have some of the speakers on stage, let's go ahead and allow them to introduce themselves. Look from where I'm seeing, it looks like Shantae is first. Shantae, what's up now? How you feeling? Shantae, you there? All right, Shantae, we're going to come back to you. Now we have Shaquana. What's up, Shaq?
Hey, Jury. How everybody? How y'all doing? Thanks for having me here. Came into the room to support the family and make sure that, everybody know what is to come. I'm excited about the Leading Ladies of Logistix conference. Anyone that's in the room that does not know me, my name is Shaquana Teasley. Everyone knows me in the industry as Shaq. I specialize in global logistics and international trade, so I partner with international freight forwarders to move freight globally. And then I specialize in the customs regulations globally to ensure that your freight is being moved compliantly by customs regulations. Of course, I teach courses in that area. I provide consulting and mentoring as well. I am also a mentor in the Leading Ladies of Logistix mentoring program as well, which has been a great experience. I've met so many people outside of just global logistics, international trade where I live. So people that are in dispatch or brokering, that need all types of guidance. And that's been very uplifting, even for me, to be engaged with both ladies and men that are interested in accelerating their careers in different platforms. So thanks, guys, for having me as one of your mentors. It's been a great experience so far. I'm looking forward to the upcoming conference, not just for the networking, but in my opinion, my personal and professional opinion, since I've met the ladies of Leading Ladies of Logistix, I have really seen what a business sisterhood can look like. And that has been challenging throughout my career. I've been in this industry for over 17 years, and that has been a challenge because it is a male-dominated industry. And I've had some support here and there, but this is the first time that I've had a group of women that are genuine and sincere about the elevation of diversifying this industry and ensuring that people are empowered and guided towards the right level of education. They are vetting programs just to make sure that people that they refer are not ending up in places where they should not be or getting misled. So to be at the conference and know that you're being led by this type of leadership, that says a lot about the organization. It says a lot about the upcoming conference, and I wouldn't want to be anywhere else. So I'm looking forward to being a speaker. I am also a vendor. So if you know the energy that I bring, just expect that all day, every day while I'm there.
Don't you know it? That energy is an understatement, honey.
Yeah, we know it. We definitely know that, Shaq. Look, so I don't know if y'all know, but Shaq is definitely family of this stage. She is always welcome. She always comes through and gives great information, shares those gems left and right. So the fact that she's on as a vendor and a speaker at this conference, I'm very excited to learn more. So thank you so much for coming up, Shaq. And, it's all love. You know that. So, look, Shantae, you back.
I'm back. I apologize about my signal.
It's all good. We've all experienced it, but you probably more than others because you're out here, you're doing it. I mean, you're in that truck. So, look, tell us about yourself and what you're going to be talking about at that conference.
Well, thank you so much for allowing me the presence of the stage. Thank you to the Leading Ladies of Logistix. I think they are just phenomenal when it comes to unity and helping women in this industry.
Okay, Shantae,
the male-dominated industry. Since 19, I own several businesses. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, you're a little choppy a little bit, but let's power through it.
She always driving.
Yes, I drive almost all the time. Thank you so much. So hopefully you can hear me now. Thank you, Shaq, for that gift. So like the I wanted to be a part of the Leading Ladies, one in the trucking industry or on my grandfather's farm and hauling produce. But I didn't take trucking serious, so I got involved in other things. And then, over the last maybe 10 years, I started to look at the numbers of trucking and how the industry that I was in, the numbers were changing. So I needed to transform back into the trucking industry. And I saw the Leading Ladies because I don't want to be in the truck all my life. It takes a major toll on you to drive trucks and to transport. And even though there's a lot of great benefits driving trucks, you come in contact with everybody. Back in 1904, when trucking got started, the truck driver was everybody. The truck driver was the broker. The truck driver was the shipper. The truck driver was the driver. The truck driver was the carrier. I mean, truck driver was everybody. They had different roles, all kinds of roles. And so basically it's still today, but the brokers and the dispatchers and the carriers take that load to where the truck driver can focus on driving. So it's very important. And I'm really excited about the conference in November because I want to talk about the best practices as a truck driver and these relationships that you have with brokers, carriers, dispatchers. And it's important that as a truck driver, not only are you prepared to spend long hours out away from your family. Being a truck driver is serious business because you can lose your relationships. You can lose a whole lot if you're not mentally prepared, physically prepared, spiritually prepared. It's a lot. It's more than just making money. It's more than just driving a truck. It can take a toll on you if you're not mentally strong or you don't have the capacity to handle this lifestyle. Every day your life is at risk. If you don't know the pounds that's on your truck and you make one bad move, it can cost you your life and someone else's. And so I'm really excited about being on the stage and talking about the best practices for a truck driver and how to build strong relationships on every end. And so, yeah, thank you so much. And that's all I had to say, not unless you have any more questions. Sorry about that. I don't have any.
Shantae, I just want to say thank you so much for sharing. The fact that, I don't know, I think that you have one of the most unique stories out there because the way that you all came together, I believe, was from Clubhouse. And this has been like the most successful, carrier truck driver relationship that I've ever seen. I've heard some stories. So this one right here, I just love the fact that it's a positive situation to the extent that you're out here participating in more than what your common driver will be doing. And not to say what a driver does is common, but you're basically you're progressing and elevating with the role that you have come across. And I agree with some of the things that you said, specifically about how pivotal it is for a driver to do almost everything. But when it comes to a dispatcher, I only make money if my drivers are driving. And I recently found out that, brokers also have feelings. So if your driver is not being polite to that broker, you might lose out in business there. So a driver is very, very essential to everything, to everybody's, part or whatever role, whatever person plays in this industry. Like the driver is centralized in that. So you're appreciated, and I can't wait to learn and hear about some of those best practices on how to get your mind, body, and spirit right to be a truck driver. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate you guys.
No doubt. Look, I recently just met this brother in person. We've been talking on the phone now for months, but the fact that I went to OTR Capital's office, I actually got to say what's up to J-Mac. J-Mac, please go ahead and introduce yourself, brother.
Jory, my man, how are we?
Doing great, man. How about yourself?
I'm good, man. I'm good. It's been a little while since I've been in the room, but what you're doing is awesome, and you couldn't have a better group of women and just influencers across the industry in here today. So definitely excited to get to chat with you all a little bit. So Tristen, Sam, Tawana, Vanessa, hope you all are doing awesome. We're pumped for the event. I'm sorry I joined a little late, so I don't know what all you guys have talked about so far, but just kind of briefly introducing OTR. We are a transportation-focused factoring company. We kind of stem from a freight brokerage originally, so we were able to kind of build the business based off of what the carrier's needs were, what they needed to be successful, and we wanted to kind of build a product and a service that was really centered around that. And so it's funny when we got involved with these, with the Leading Ladies organization by actually starting to work with Tristen and her carrier side, her and her Matt, her husband, back in probably 2017 or so, Sam. And it's been awesome to kind of watch their growth as an organization and just kind of seeing how they align so much with what our mission has always been is what really made OTR want to kind of make more of a commitment to the Leading Ladies. So we're absolutely excited to, sponsor the event, here in November. We've got Grace Marr, who I believe is down here in the room as well, if we want to call her up at some point. And then Gary Walker, who has worked with OTR for 6 years now, are both going to be on the panel, kind of, answering the do's and don'ts about factoring, just kind of educating the industry on that, where we've kind of come from, all those different things. So we're absolutely excited about that. It looks like Grace, you're up here now too, so feel free to jump in at any given point, but that's kind of who we are, and Grace, you can kind of take over from there.
Hey, it's my favorite women, and Jory, good to see you or hear you guys. Jory did come to the office last week, and Tawana, Tristen, it was so funny. Sam, Vanessa, he's like, this is awesome, which is so great. It's always so exciting when we have, our clients in the office and people to actually see like what OTR is about and how, what our culture is like and how committed we are to the carriers, and supporting the Leading Ladies of Logistics is obviously, I feel very passionate about it. I absolutely love the mission. I love that it's bringing education to transportation. And Jory, you've been paramount in that with this transportation and logistics room on Clubhouse. But we're thrilled about the event in November. Gary Walker and I will be up there. We'll be talking about factoring and sort of, I think what factoring has transformed into over the last 10 years. It started when we first got into factoring. I think rates were somewhere in 5 to 7.9% for carriers, and owner operators certainly weren't being serviced very well. And most carriers that you spoke to would not speak highly of factoring. And over the past 10 years, between technology and understanding that you really need to take care of a carrier and respect them, and we've decided to help empower everybody and try to get them as much information as we can, make their lives easier and appreciate what they're doing. Dispatchers, small brokerages, large brokerages, carriers of all sizes. And, at OTR, we're just constantly committed to bringing more products and services to trucking companies, dispatchers, and brokers to help them continue to grow. We're very excited to be a part of this, and thanks for letting us talk tonight.
Oh, no doubt. Thank you so much for coming up to the stage, Grace. It was a good time at the office. It really surprised me. With so many people, I was like, Jesus.
Yeah. Everybody says that. I don't think they expect so if you walk into OTR, it's an open, we call it open bullpen. We've just got pods of desks, and we've got tons of people in the office. It's volunteer right now, obviously, because of COVID, and we're trying to put in protocols, but to keep people safe. But, you're allowed to be in the office if that's where you want to be, and music blaring, TV's on, flags flying. And we're constantly saying talking to carriers all day about their business and what we can do for them.
No doubt. And look, I know that we're still continuing with this conversation, but Leading Ladies of Logistics, I'm not sure if you were willing to take any questions from folks in the audience, but if you are, just let me know. I can turn hand raising on. How do you feel about 10 minutes of questions? And don't all speak at once.
That's fine.
Samantha.
All right. So look, y'all, if you did have questions, let me go ahead and turn the ability to raise your hand on. My first question, or my next question, thank you again, Grace. Very, very appreciate it. And J-Mac, I can't wait to see you guys again, being in that we're all here in Atlanta. So thank you all.
Oh, very much.
Absolutely, Jory.
Yes, sir. So look, are any of you ladies going to be leading any sessions at the conference?
Nobody don't want to hear from us. We're not leading no sessions, George.
What? No,
I'm just kidding. We are actually giving a freight broker mini class.
Okay.
So you get to come to the conference and network and actually take a mini session in freight brokering if you haven't purchased the course yet. So yes, Sam and I will be leading a freight broker room with Shay Dixon and Justin Singh and a couple other brokers.
Oh, perfect. That is awesome. I can't wait to see that because like you guys know, I'm a dispatcher, but being able to learn all parts of this industry only helps you. It only makes you stronger and you know the game better. So I'm going to be there. So thank you so much for answering that. And if there were any questions, please go ahead and raise your hand. Looks like we have one of my very, very, very favorite guests of the stage who just raised her hand. We have Miss Ivory. Hey, Ivory, how you doing?
Hey, Kinfolk. I'm doing fine. How are y'all doing?
Great. Introduce yourself, please, and let us know what your question is.
Okay. Well, my name is Ivory. I am the owner of my husband and I own Twin Lines Trucking. We now have 2 trucks, and we've been carriers since last December. So we're coming up on a year. Cannot wait. Since then, I've also started Emerald Pride Logistics, which is a dispatching company. So also do that as well and help other carriers because, we've been through it. So we help other carriers try to find that freight and keep them rolling. And I have taken the Ladies of Logistics brokering course. And so, Tawana and Sam, I've felt like I've talked to y'all quite a bit via that via that course. So I do have a question about it. As far as structuring, and I think I've kind of sent a message, but it might have got kind of lost. But since I have a carrier company, I have a dispatching company, and I was interested in getting to brokering. And I know you said have an LLC for each one of them. Got that. Okay. But if I decide to be an agency under someone else, should I still get an LLC to get paid through that agency?
I don't think I understand
Basically, you're saying, should you? Yes, you should. 9 times out of 10, if you're going to work as a broker agent under a brokerage, then yes, they will probably pay you as a 1099 contractor. So this is actually kind of a Vanessa question. She can talk about the business structure and if you should, use your LLC. So I'll let her jump in if she wants to. But I definitely think that instead of having them pay you via your social security number, as in if you're not an employee, if you're going to be a contractor, then yes, I would have my LLC. When I worked as a freight agent, they actually paid my LLC, paid my company, and not me individually. Vanessa, you want to add to that?
Yeah, definitely what Tristen said. So you always want to make all of those relationships business to business. And, in transportation, for me, everything is about risk and liability. Definitely separating those companies reduces and protects your risk and liability. And that's what you want to do, the same thing, even if you're working as an agent, because you still want to be able to have that degree of separation between yourself and your business. I don't know if if that wasn't clear for you.
No, that was clear. That's thank you very much for that. And Vanessa, you don't know this yet, but we're going to be contacting you for services. So I had you on my list.
Come on over.
Yeah, this is that quarter where we need to start getting things right and getting it tight so that way we can get some money back because trucking ain't free.
Oh, I hear you there, Ivory. I was just talking to my wife about it. I was like, look, we need to talk about taxes real quick. So, but yeah, thank you so much for that question, Ivory. You always come with the very, very insightful questions. We did have somebody else join the stage. It looks like it's Abba. Hey, Abba, how you doing?
Hi, Jory. I'm doing well. Hello, everyone. I really appreciate you all taking the time out to speak to us. My name is Abba. I am just getting started in the industry as a dispatcher. And honestly, I've been kind of on the fence about actually getting started right now. My main holdup is setting up my contract between myself and the carriers. And then the other thing is just in general, launching everything has been a little bit nerve-wracking. I had heard about a few partner programs. I don't remember if that's the right term, but it's actually related to what Ivory was just asking about from her side. But if anyone could give me a little bit of a pointer or two about what to do in terms of getting into one of those programs, just kind of getting a handle on what to look out for, how the pay would also work in that instance. I do have the LLC set up, so I kind of gathered from the response to Ivory's question that it would definitely have to be, pay and all that would have to be processed through there. So I hope my question was clear. But yeah.
I don't know if it was really clear, but are you saying you're wanting to launch your dispatch service and you're looking for a company to work under?
That's correct.
Okay, you should definitely talk to Tawana at Goldstar. She consults dispatchers as well. So Tawana, you can speak.
Okay. Okay, so you have your own dispatch company as of right now, but you're looking to work under someone else's. Was that the question?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, I mean, I would just reach out to some companies that and definitely do your research on whatever company it is you reach out for as far as dispatching. Unfortunately, I am not bringing on dispatchers right now. I literally just brought on a few. So I'm not bringing on dispatchers at the moment, and I'm actually not bringing on dispatchers that have their own dispatch company. So definitely do your research. There are definitely companies out there that will, bring you on so that you can get that additional training before you branch out on your own. So do your research on some companies and, see how the compensation would work. Most of them will be, 1099s or stuff like that. But, yeah, I mean, like I said, it's definitely services and companies out there. Just do your research, continue your education so that you would have those tools and everything that you need to be successful, either at someone else's company or starting on your own.
Oh,
okay.
Thank you very much for that, Tawana. Hey, Abba, reach out to me, and I want to say just reach out to me about at least that dispatch carrier agreement. I know when I first got started, I got a lot of documents from folks that, they kind of helped me. It's something that I'm still doing. I'm not even going to tell you that my dispatch carrier agreement is perfect by any means, but I'm more than happy with giving you a baseline to start. And we can't have that conversation just because, I point people to other folks who are in need all the time, of additional support. So just reach out to me probably on IG. That's a little bit easier. I don't always see the notifications inside of Clubhouse. So, but look, God bless you and best of luck with your business. But yeah, just reach out to me. Okay.
All right. Thank you.
No problem. We did have another person that raised their hand, and I just sent that request over to them. So if they come up real quick, we can have that conversation. But we are running low on those 10 minutes that the Leading Ladies of Logistix agreed to. So, brother, if you want to accept that invite, come on up to the stage. Otherwise, we're going to start saying bye-bye. So I just want to say it's a great honor to have all of you ladies on stage. You too, brother, J Mac. So, thank you for being up here as well. But the fact is, like I said at the top of the discussion, the Leading Ladies of Logistix have been very, very, very pivotal to the success of the Transportation and Logistics Clubhouse. So I am very honored to have you here. And if there's anything that I can do to, help further any of the the causes that you guys have going on in the future, just know that you got a friend in me. So I just wanted to say that. Did any of you ladies want to say anything before we close out the room? Be it Sam, Vanessa, Tristen, or Tawana?
I would like to say that we love all of you. A lot of you send us DMs and we don't always get to answer them, but meeting us at the conference, you can pick our brains, talk to us all you want. So we want to see you all there.
Oh, I love that. All right.
Yeah, just to piggyback on what Tristen said, DMs are full. Shoot us an email if you have any questions. Info at Leading Ladies of Logistix with an X.com for any questions or concerns that if we can help you in the right way. But, most importantly, women, of course, be sure to join our Facebook group, which is totally free right now for all mentorships in our Facebook group. And, just to leave you guys with a little tip, the transportation industry is huge. It's still growing. There's still opportunity in the industry. Take your time. Take your time would be my tip for you guys. So many people come into the industry. So many people come into my consults and everybody's in a rush. And I learned that rushing costs a lot of money. So take your time, figure out what it is that you want to do, figure out your goals, figure out your plan, and just take your time. The industry not going nowhere.
Oh, I love that advice. Take your time, young man. Yeah, nah, I definitely agree with that. Take your time. Take your time. Build that credit up, just like Tristen said, if you're interested in becoming a freight broker as well.
Yeah, and I want to say, Jerry, thank you for having us. Thank you for everyone showing up to support us and get more information about the event. My takeaway will be definitely, research what lane you want to be in. Like, don't try to do it all at one time. From a financial standpoint, from a structural standpoint, unless you have a team, right? Get into the rooms, build your network, get your accountability partners, and it's okay to do it in steps. And I hope to see you all in a few weeks in Atlanta at the conference.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. So what's up? Tawana, you want to say anything on the way out?
I just did.
Oh, my bad. My bad. I definitely meant to say, Sam, my bad.
You know what? I didn't even hear anything because it had it went mute for a second. But no, I mean, just again, thank you for, giving us the stage. Again, it's like there's so many people out there. I think I've met everyone and I obviously haven't. But just again, thank you for the support. We're super excited about this conference. And my main takeaway is always tell people, like, don't compare your stories to other people. I mean, you don't know what some people, what routes or what roadblocks they took, to get to where they're at. I call it Instaland. I feel like Instaland, you can make anything look like whatever. I think a lot of people kind of, put on like a facade that, they have, no headaches, no roadblocks in this industry when we all know, there is. So just good luck to everyone. Kind of piggyback off what everybody else said. Just take your time, research, just don't jump in. It can cost you a lot of money. You can be put out of service very quickly. And good luck to everyone and hope to see you soon.
Perfect. Well, again, everybody, it was very, very nice to have you here. Thank you so much for always supporting the Transportation and Logistics Clubhouse. The fact that we have access to people that have so much knowledge and know-how is, it's all the reason why we should be succeeding out here. People say somebody that knows more than you shouldn't be a threat. That should be like a blessing, the fact that you have access to them. So showing up to this conference is only doing yourself a favor. And I'm talking to myself as well. So without further ado, I'm just going to go ahead and close the room. If anybody needs me for anything, if you want any assistance or if there's anything that you're looking to have on this showcase, just hit me up. Reach out to me on Instagram at Jory Sean is my IG link. So without further ado, y'all have a blessed one. Thank you again, ladies.
Thank you. Good night.
Thank you.
Good night.
Thank you.